how it works and how it feels. Here you can see a list of the main features, and again, most of you are users of social networks, so you're going to be familiar with some of these. This is Ella's circle of friends. So on her front page here, what you see in the blue column are Ella and her friends. So those are all the people in her network, and they only get in that network if Ella may have a connector in her network, or maybe looking at her husband, but there'll be somebody who takes the lead to invite a certain set of people in, people who care about her. In the middle is the message center, and this is where all the messages and posting happen, and on the colored blocks on the other side are really the action center. These are the buttons you press to make things happen. So as one example, if you want to send a message to the network, all you simply do is click on that blue box, network message. Up comes your blank screen to type in your message, push send, everybody in the network gets it, and it gets posted up here on the site. So that's the real sort of core of how it works. But here's a couple of other things that are on Tyze. We have a calendar. We also have this section. So the calendar's used a lot to organize events. This section is really to organize people in contributing, making it really easy, really simple for people to contribute. One of the issues often that happens is people want to do stuff and they don't know what to do. And this is the place where we can make it quite simple. So we have some things here. We've got making an appointment with the doctor, making a list of emergency contacts, and so somebody claims that, says I can help, and then once they've done it, they mark it as complete. This is the story and photo view. This is certainly a very important page within the sites. This is where lots of the memories are created. Both memories are brought in from the past, and also these networks, it isn't all just about being online. They are often together, as you saw from Joan's network. They're together, they're celebrating, there's pictures of them together. Again, this is part of that fuels the overall momentum and feel of the network themselves. We also have a vault on the site, which is a place where people can file sensitive documents, things like their will, their medical records, their care plans. The vault is available only to people who are given permission. So often it's the person at the center, their husband, and maybe there may be a daughter, but it's a good place of record storage. So at this point you might be saying, and this question comes up, it's the number one question we get all the time, is how is Tyze different than Facebook? And it's an important question for us certainly to be able to answer clearly. So Tyze itself, every network is created around a specific person and situation. So these are very personal networks. They're designed to strengthen relationships, not count them. I don't know how many people you have on your Facebook pages, but my daughter's got 350. And that was really great when she was looking for an apartment, but not so great when she broke up with her boyfriend, right? In terms of really getting the support. So we're interested in a different kind of connectivity here, and we're interested in really weaving those kinds of connections. The network is very secure and closed. No one has access to a family network unless you're invited, and you can't search anybody on Tyze. You can't find them. You would never know you simply do not know who has a network. All of our networks are ad-free as well. So there's this sense of a very personal, positive space there. And the other thing that is unique about Tyze is that we provide ongoing training and mentoring for network connectors. So for those that need them, there's actually a person there to animate the network. And again, this might be in your own experience. You might know from your own accounts in LinkedIn or Facebook or whatever, that you get exactly out of them as much as you put into them. So you might be like me and have a couple of those that you don't use very much and nothing happens on them. But if you start punching stuff in, suddenly they do begin to come to life. Or here's another example I bet everybody in this room has had, where you've had a great meeting like you're going to have or are having here, and you leave and you think, okay, well, let's get everybody onto a group forum, right? And everybody's keen about it, but it just seems to fritter away. And without an animator on that site or a connector on those kinds of forums that's feeding material, encouraging people to post, all those kinds of things, we lose those ties. And so it is with our personal networks as well. And that's the role of the connector, is really to be strengthening and weaving the ties. Here's a little bit about some of our results. And so far, Tyze is 18 months old, by the way, as a business, so we're pretty new and green. Some interesting things about us, though. 30% of our members are 56. That's really kind of right smack in the middle of the caregiver generation and the sandwich generation in lots of ways. 32% had reservations about even trying Tyze initially, but found it easy to use. They said that Tyze is handy for planning events and connecting family and friends. And to date, we have 31 organizations that are using Tyze sites in 3 different countries. So we're in the UK, the US, and Canada. Let me show you how we actually work with organizations. What we describe for organizations is that Tyze is a technology-enabled service. So this is a new service that organizations can offer to people in their care. How it works is that we work with an organization to create their own Tyze site, a custom site that includes a home page that's theirs, it's got custom content on it, and we provide training for people in their organization to be connectors, and we host the site. We work with organizations who want to deliver personal support networks to the people in their care. Fundamentally, it's a vehicle to deliver this knowledge about how to create connections. We provide lots of ongoing training, and sites can link intranet and formal systems. This is an example of what somebody's homepage looks like, an organizational homepage. This is Crossroads Care Croydon. It's one of the UK sites, but it just gives you a sense of what an individual organization's site looks like, and then what happens for their members at Croydon. They're introduced to Tyze like this, and when they log in, they go right here to that site, and then they've got their personal networks inside this ecosystem. So that's our delivery model. There's been a lot of interest in what Tyze is doing, and I want to just share with you some of the organizations where we've had real support, what I would call our strategic partners in bringing Tyze to the world. And this has been another lesson I would share with you, that as you go down these untrodden paths, there are some very interesting people out there in the world willing to take a chance with you. So for us, we had, even for the early development of the beta or the alpha of Tyze, the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation, one of the largest foundations in the world, specializing in disruptive innovations in healthcare, funded us. And they do not fund outside of the US. We were the first Canadian organization ever, to my knowledge, to get funding from them. They've also funded us right now to be doing some work in California. So here we have a large philanthropy, Human Resources Canada. So we're working with Human Resources Canada on caregiving, and are working with a number of organizations in Canada who are serving caregivers. The United Kingdom Department of Health. The United Kingdom is, I think, just that closer to the edge in terms of their fiscal reality. They're very interested in innovation. They took this wild chance on this crazy Canadian idea, and they've been. We have launched. It's a very small pilot with a huge profile. Most recently, the United Kingdom released a white paper on care. Actually, it was on the National Health Service that they are transforming to the National Care Service. And somebody sent it to me. It's sort of one of those documents that goes to all the members of Parliament in the UK and so on. And I'm flipping through it, and there is a big box mention of Tyze in there as an example of the kind of innovation they want to move to. Community Living British Columbia, that's a provincial partner. The Young Foundation in the United Kingdom, these are world leaders in social innovation, have been supporters both financially, but also in making connections, which is also much a part of getting our work out in the world. Mars here in Ontario has been significant in the real practical ideas and also the encouragement. And for any of you who are here in Ontario, and if you're going into this realm of enterprise and technology, I can't recommend them highly enough. I know Allison is here, and Tim from SiG. They are fantastic resources here in Ontario, and also the whole Mars team, an unbelievable set of knowledge there.